I know I started live a little bit earlier, but in the lineup, currently what I'm doing, got some Shaga here. I know it's all backwards for you guys, but starting with some Shaga. I'm actually going to do one Mukuna seed just for some L-Dopa so I can get some precursors to dopamine. That way, oh my goodness, they're sliding off the table. So, but yes, L-Dopa within that Mukuna seed, and it's basically like a velvet bean. But in terms of motivation, drive, things like that, Makuna Seed dominates in that. So um, we got a couple things here today. Sorry if you hear the scratching on the table and things, but got some vitamin D. We're gonna do about 5,000 IU's of that, and then a glandular. I was like, at least at the very least, doing a mushroom, a medicinal mushroom, a glandular, or some type of organ meat, and then you can get, you know, individual herbs and things like that. But I like to at least be doing a glandular and a mushroom at all times. That's like my hard, fast rule there because you just get so much bang for your buck by doing those organ meats and having medicinal mushrooms in at play. So, thyroid glandular, since it's like 2 p.m., I'm going to do probably a full serving. So, four of these thyroid glandulars. So, I'll go like that. And yeah, we got some coconut water, we got some coffee, got some spring water. So all of the all the key essentials for a good live here. And obviously, we'll be giving away some value today. Um, doing discounts on appointments, doing complimentary calls, doing. We got the online store now, so that you can all get. And obviously, as we answer questions, I'll guide you on what to be doing here. So, but let me start taking some of these capsules. As we get rolling. Got a little pile of supplements I'll be taking throughout. Got to practice what we preach, of course. So, but hope you guys are doing well. We got Tuesday here, fancy little Tuesday. Although I don't know, it feels like it's way later in the week. To be quite honest with you guys. Um, but yes, Tuesday did some good training this morning, company wide at the Wellness Way. We do this every Tuesday morning. Um, it's just one helps us connect with everybody too. I love it. That way you're always seeing and connecting with all the other offices and clinic owners because we're like one big family. So, um, yeah, pretty cool there. But in terms of the day so far, definitely got some appointments later on. We got some time here though until we hit some post lunch appointments. So, drop the comments down below. Ask away your health questions. We'll we'll get to them, and let me know how the volume is. Obviously, I'm crazy about volume and having that correct, but yeah, get some of the Makuna going. Makuna's great. You just don't want to do too much. You can be a little too focused, almost to irritation and things like that. So there is a point where dopamine becomes excess, but a lot of people are depleted in dopamine. So if you're on the internet for more than, I don't know, more than 15 minutes a day, and you're scrolling Instagram and TikTok and things like that, you could definitely have some issues with dopamine and just making enough. And that, with a lot of people, leads to the decrease in drive, even sex drive too. Not just sex drive though, but motivation in general, motivation to move your body, to get the day started. And there's an adrenal connection there as well. But I mean, certainly a big portion of that is dopamine dependent because basically everybody just chases dopamine and serotonin. So I actually dropped one of the capsules and I tried to play it off. So where the hell did that thing go? But, there it is. She didn't get too far. So, all right. What is MPV? Mine was 12. So if you see that showing up high, I mean, 12 is pretty much the borderline there. Mean papillary volume, so blood volume's just getting larger, or the shape of the cells are getting larger. And that's usually pointing toward some deficiencies there. So, commonly known B vitamin deficiencies. I would start doing something like a glandular, like what I was just doing with the thyroid glandular here. I actually got 2 capsules left to take, but you're going to get it, all of the B vitamins that are available through that liver glandular that is also within the thyroid piece. But you could just get liver glandular alone. Um, Link in bio there for the store. Obviously, everything grass fed and finished from New Zealand, but that's an easy way to cover not just that deficiency, but others too, other cofactors and enzymes, and whether it's anemia, things like that. You can cover a heck of a lot by just doing one thing. So, but yeah, um, there's also methylated B vitamins and things like that too. Okie doke. So, PCOS question. For PCOS, you want to get sugars ran. We do have to know where sugars are at, where insulin is at. Daily sugar intake is definitely gonna play into this too. Fiber. Fiber will allow you to regulate some of that glycemic intake, and even fat too. Getting the proteins up, the fats up, get up your fiber. Sorry, I'm taking this bracelet off because it clicks on the table and then it makes noises in the mic. So I hate it. But either way, you can start on some white peony so you can help with the aromatase conversion within your liver so that you're getting testosterone and the adrenal hormones down into the estrogens, which is the problem. However, though, it is not just a lack of white peony why you have this problem. It's a combination of different stressors. I would wonder about history of birth control, um, plastic water bottle use, different female hygiene products too that can have forever chemicals on there. Things like yoga pants, spandex, all those things will be endocrine disruptors. Every one of those things. Um, but there can be issues going on with the GI. Primarily, insulin is going to be the big one. Blood sugar. So getting sugar down, you could do some white peony, gymnema, Oregon grape, and I'll be getting some blood work done and a Dutch test, and that would be all of the initial starts there for Miss Allie. Link in bio, and we'll get you started there. Is 0.4 TSH? Yeah, that's too low. In terms of production things, you could do some iodine, you could do some selenium, you could do some thyroid glandular. That's actually why I take it, because heavily influences the adrenals as well. So if you're getting tired often or having issues with the skin, sorry, I have Neo 40 in my mouth as well. Um, Nitric oxide 40, but yeah, looking at a production issue there. I would be curious for autoimmunity just because that's going to be a huge piece of this if that's the case too. Um, but too low for Bama. Hello, hello. People saying hey. People saying handsome. Thanks, thanks. I gotta prop my elbow up here so I don't make earthquakes every time I scroll for you guys. So, all right, let's do that. Prop you guys up. Oh, Sam, have you played Half Life? I think way back in the day, um, if I remember correctly. So this is a thyroid discussion. It's basically all holistic health discussions. So, do you have any tips for the MCAT? Uh, any tips for studying is really find out what kind of learner you are, because then from there you can do a lot better in terms of knowing how to study. Okay, my cousin. What about your cousin here? Oh no. Okay. Got diagnosed with Graves. Okay. I was thinking she could look at a natural route. I mean, it's figuring out the immune triggers there. So, autoimmune hyperthyroid. Oddly enough, I do not recommend soy like ever. But in this scenario, I would do a cup of soy twice a day. The best soy milk that you could find, cup of soy milk, organic, as clean as you can get it, sourced twice a day, so that you can start to inhibit some of that thyroid excess conversion there. But you do want to support the liver. I would like doing something like turmeric. Why soy? Because that's going to slow down thyroid conversion. Um, so that you could just work on the initial symptomatology that way. But yeah, figuring out through food allergy testing, through testing the GI, possibly mold, parasitic issues. It depends per person. Hey, even viral issues. Even I'm I keep saying I'm going to drop the patient testimonial pre and post lab. I'm going to do it this afternoon. You guys are seeing it now. Hold me hold me to it. But I'm going to be dropping that patient testimonial video, which was basically a hairdresser that just from interacting with the cosmetology chemicals throughout 20, 30 years is what impacted her thyroid a bunch and led to autoimmunity. And there was mental stressors involved, and obviously there's more than just one causal factor. So it's multifactorial in nearly every case. But she's going to have her fillings removed. So heavy metals. I didn't mention those, but heavy metals can certainly be a piece here. Um, she's going to have her fillings removed to see if that impacts it. It will. It definitely will. You could do some ACZ zeolite spray for the time being. We are fully stocked, so check out the online store there. Have you seen Heated Rivalry? No, I have no idea what that is actually. Don't mind me taking my supplements during the stream. Actually, just took some thyroid glandular there. Got a couple more to go. But I mean, the fillings could definitely impact that. Oh, I missed one. How does one get rid of a lingering cough? That is annoying. It's an irritation issue there too. Um, if it's from getting sick, that's obviously going to be different than if it was something airborne. So if it's from getting sick, you can do OSHA, echinacea, and probably herbal throat spray. All of those fully stocked. Link in bio. Only if you're in the U.S. though. That's kind of the sad part. Um, but yeah, you could work on white blood cell production. You could work on dilation of the lungs, moving fluid out of there. I also like vibration plates. I also like rebounding. I also like sauna. Um, more physical things you could do there, but there's chemical and physical components to that. So, in terms of the immune support, I would want to see where vitamin D is at. Speaking of vitamin D, D3, K2, 5,000 IUs going down the hatch. Gotta practice what we preach, people. You need the K2 though for the calcium mobilization. Anybody with a high calcium score, things like that, um, definitely need to address. So, all right, we got some over on YouTube's here. Um, bu- 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 bu. You know, people here aren't docs. I'm well educated. Oh, slow down. Yes, I will slow down. I swear. I will slow down. All right, here we go. What else? Let's go back to the chick chakas here. Talked about the fillings. How do you feel about beef liver supplements? They are great as long as you can find great source. Finding the right sources is key. So, as long as you can get grass fed and finished, because otherwise you're going to have a grain fed animal that's going to have fatty liver, and then you're going to be eating that liver, and that's terrible. So, but yes, I love beef liver supplements. Taking one right now. Actually, no, that's Shaga. Got one right here. Boom. They're great. Okie dokie. Would take in soy twice daily. Negative impact. PMMD. Hormonal imbalance. Um, with the Graves though, that's going to be very stressful on cardiac tissue, on the whole system. So in the meantime of figuring out the autoimmune triggers, we have to get that excess hormonal response down. So in some fashion, it could, but the body's going to use that soy to downregulate the thyroid the most out of anything. So supporting the liver, though, excuse me, supporting the liver, though, you can work on if there are hormonal imbalances, say excess estrogens, endometriosis, things like this, you want to support that liver conversion. So something like Sisandra is great. Something like DIM, fantastic. And it's going to be a similar approach for that thyroid issue in the first place. So all those things are connected, and the liver is going to play a huge role in that. Do I do consultations? Heck yeah. Yeah, if you click on my profile, whether you're on YouTube or TikTok here, if you click on my profile, there'll be a website link in there, and you can book a free call. We could just have a free consult first, sort of an intro call, so that I could understand everything that you're looking for and you can understand what we do. So, but yes, and I usually help people get started early too. If there's a lab that I know, um, live visibility restricted. Oh boy, you're live. Recommendation. Ah, um, interesting. I said because I have a non TikTok shop, I have a Shopify store because it's super easy to work. I have a Rolo thermal printer. When people need something shipped, it's freaking a piece of cake. I can get it done in 30 seconds or less, actually. So, but TikTok is saying that I'm getting penalized because I don't have a TikTok link in my bio. Screw you guys. How about that? Screw you guys. Um, where the heck did I leave off? Oh yeah, consult question. Certainly, link in bio. That way you get the contact us form. Um, and then we could start that whole process there. Getting paperwork done, figuring out, okay, what are the symptoms that you're going through? And now how do we reverse engineer these from a holistic point of view? Obviously, the tools that I'm using is more medicinal herbs, mushrooms, glandulars like kava, liquid herb, fantastic, helps me with stress more than anything. But everybody's a little bit different. So then it's with that lab work, we can dial in what are the most stress relieving things for you from a chemical standpoint, how to support those physically, mentally, chemically, physically, all of the above. Okay, I missed a question here. Why do I feel hungover every morning and have low blood pressure, but feel better later? So it can be an issue with the adrenals regulating enough hormones. Could also be a thyroid thing going on here too. Thyroid and adrenals are heavily tied in together. I would be curious as to what your sleep cycle looks like, what the circadian rhythm is programmed to there. Because if you're going to bed super late, waking up super late, that can throw off the brain and throw off the entire system. So I would say that there's an adrenal component. You could do some adrenal glandular in the morning. I would probably do 2 capsules in the morning, although the dose says 4. I would start with 2. And then at night, I would mega dose melatonin. And you could correct that pretty easily because blood pressure and the adrenals are highly connected. And getting some electrolytes into. Hello, Christina. doing? Okie doke. Oh, Piper gives us more. So my sleep cycle is horrible. I do go to bed late and wake up late. So yeah, for Piper, I would do 6 to 9 milligrams of melatonin at night, and I would do at least 2 capsules of adrenal glandular. If you need to bump it up to 4, you could do that. But right when you wake up, the adrenal glandular, do not take it at night because you're going to be up all night. So, but Lincoln Bio there. Um, and if you're on the East Coast, you'll get it shipped really quick. So, but let us know. Um, just those two things you can correct a lot. Melatonin is extremely powerful. It's the most powerful antioxidant on the entire planet, even over glutathione, which a lot of people don't know. They think it's the other way around. But that, and then with the adrenal glandular, you're getting liver in there, plus the adrenal tissue. So you're getting all of the um, hormonal changes there and all the precursors too. So, is this a live stream or pre recorded? Hopefully that answers that question. Can you do a flip? Not here. Not here. That's exactly what I do. Sleep early, mornings stay up. Wait. That's exactly what I do. Sleep early, morning, stay up, get up at 6 p.m. Oh my goodness, mama. No, that is terrible. That is terrible. You're aging so fast. You're going to age so quickly. Don't do that to your skin. Um, Melatonin and adrenal glandular, my friends. Morning, one in the morning, one at night. But go to sleep super late, but wake up really early. That's even worse. That's even worse. Can't be doing that. Then you're getting like 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep. Your body can't repair. Appeal. Do some appealing. I've noticed the later I wake up, the better I feel for whatever reason. Stomach is the worst part. Yeah, because you're getting more sleep in throughout that whole time frame. And the stomach issues, I mean, can there be some adrenal regulation there? Yeah, but if you're late night eating, that will play a lot into how well that gets processed overnight. So I'd wonder how late you're eating. If you're doing like meals right before bed and you're sleeping or going to bed really late, that's just a poor recipe. Poor recipe. How you start getting those responses down, acidify your stomach, do some betaine HCl, calm that stomach down, things like albizia, chamomile. Um, you'll see great changes there. So, but yes, so we got what, 4 things for you: adrenal glandular in the morning, melatonin at night, albizia, chamomile twice a day. Send me a message if that's too confusing. I know I talk really quick sometimes, and I think that's part of the problem. To be honest with you guys, a lot of people are like, "Could you say that again?" But a lot of these supplement names are weird, like St. John's wort. I don't expect you to. That one's actually kind of popular, but things like echinacea, things like golden seal, astragalus. What are weird names? Sisandra. That's a weird one. So, but yes, but partially stomach issue, getting inflammation down. But sorry, I'm saying so much. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. We're trying to give away value here. That's what these lives are about. So, see, we're cruising. Got like 40 some people in here. 40 some. YouTube, we're getting there. We're at like 10. I go to sleep about 5 a.m. Oh my goodness. Get her up at 6:58. Dang. Dang. I would wonder what medication things are going on here. There can be some things thrown off the system in that way, but focus on your antioxidants. Focus on your sprouted veggies, on your berry sources for sugars. Um, focus on possibly doing some again with the melatonin and probably melatonin paired with alcidonia so that you can start to correct this circadian rhythm because it's really supporting your brain with the correct nutrients so that we can get the circadian rhythm to regulate itself. So, melatonin, alcidonia, which alcidonia is going to have L-theanine, which will cut the cortisol half life. B6, extremely calming to the brain. Passion flower hits all three GABA receptors, GABA being the most calming neurotransmitter, and it has GABA in there too. So, alcidonia, melatonin, get your sleep cycles freaking back on track, people. Um, but yes, link in bio there. You can hit the stow. If you're in the US, we could ship it out to you. But okay. What's in the box? I don't have a box here. Nice day from Holland. If I sleep at 3, wake up at 5, that's terrible. Burning hands and feet when I eat or when hungry. I would do some vitamin B1, fat soluble B1, very common in neuropathy, things like that. Also from too much sugar. So get some gymnema going, maybe even wellness B complex, things like that. You're all good. I'm really bad at wanting add as much info as I can. Well, it definitely helps. It definitely helps. Thoughts on the Epstein files. That's funny. Okay, wait. Let's get to where we were here. Add much info. What's the mic name? It sounds good. This is a total, total side tangent here. This is a Samsung, not Samsung, not Samsung, not like the phone, but a Samsung Q2U. Yeah, Samsung Q2U. That's what it is. And it is good. I think it was like $100. Totally reasonable. Plugs right in. Just get an adapter. Thing's a freaking beast. So, okey doke. Cassandra is great. Cassandra is great. I actually said Cassandra a while back. I'm surprised that came in then. I also have health issues, high blood pressure, non functional thyroid, among other things. Well, feel free to give us more details there. If you want to send DMs, that's okay too. In general, what do we have? High blood pressure, non functional thyroid. So I'm going to assume that's thyroid inhibition, some iodine, some selenium. Those are the building blocks for thyroid hormones. You could even do some thyroid glandular. I took it at the beginning of this stream as well. I would, because there's T3 and T4 in there. So you can have some precursor elements, some hormones in that glandular already, and then support them with some iodine and selenium to make more on your own. That will help you a ton, and that can help the blood pressure out too. But you said high blood pressure, so I'd be confused here, and if that was more hyperthyroid at all. Either way, I would want to look into immune triggers because the majority of thyroid issues are immune system related. So that's where we got to start the journey. Looking at food, looking possibly at the GI, even liver function will play massive roles in that. So that's why ingesting a liver capsule can benefit you a ton. Thoughts on the Epstein files? This is a health question and answer, guys. The hell are we talking about? Amy says generic. I'm offended, Amy. All right. Why are you ignoring my message? Because like, if the comments don't make sense at all, I'm just gonna scroll past it, dude. This is a health Q&A. I'm trying to help people. There's a lot of sick people in the world, and they need our help. So, trying to prioritize that for the folks. So, ugh. Okay. Thought it was a religious channel. All right, I'm gonna quick potty break, and then I'll be back. I'm not gonna end the stream or anything. I'm just gonna keep it here. So I'll be back in like, I don't know, a minute or less. Get some free advice. All right, be back. All righty, here we go. Let's get back to her here. Um, got a haircut today. In other news, so we got the fresh cut. I know I've been saying that for a couple days in a row now. I'm like, your boy needs a haircut, and we got it. We got it done. Bag secured, looking fresh again. Got the neck all nice and clean. So, anyways, what did we get any questions in the meantime? Thoughts on the Epstein files? Jeez, dude. I honestly, I'm oblivious to the news, to be quite honest with you guys. So all I do is work. So I own a business. All I do is work. Um, but yeah, having a good time, you know? Is there a natural way to raise TSH levels without medication? So it's figuring out why it's low. Common reasons are deficiencies. Deficiencies are a huge piece of this because any thyroid issue is going to be either production, conversion, autoimmune, or some type of destruction process there. Um, so in that, you need to test for thyroid hormones so that you can see, okay, are we producing enough? And if T4 is low or T3 is low, that's going to tell us, okay, is this production? Is this conversion? What do we have to do here? So, for that matter, at the very least, some thyroid glandular. I know I've actually mentioned this several times on this live, but you have thyroid tissue in there and liver tissue as well. So, you're going to get about 130 micrograms of T4 and then about 30 micrograms of T3 and the active form. So you can immediately get some hormonal changes there, which will obviously bring TSH back to normal. But then obviously looking at the autoimmune triggers, maybe even testing for food, testing for the GI, possible issues with heavy metals, mold. There's a lot that can kind of go on there, but it's really where is it for this individual? Because can you do thyroid glandular and get great changes? Yeah, of course, because it's going to cover deficiencies, and that's if you're inflamed, you're going to have deficiencies. That's part of being inflamed. Is part of that result is becoming deficient in things. But you can also have excess. You can also be toxic in things too. So I don't want to assume stuff and you know covering deficiencies. You cannot go wrong there. If there is an autoimmune component, consider medicinal mushrooms. And if we do figure out that production and conversion story, that can tell you how much iodine or selenium to be doing, how much to be supporting the liver if it is a conversion issue. So, but that's also tied into the GI and a whole bunch of stuff. But great question. Great question. Why am I ignoring your message? I think I read that already. Because it's BS. If it's not a health question, I'm just going to kind of, if it's funny, I'll read it. If it's funny, I'll read it. It's just got to be well scripted there. Or if it's a health question. So, Allie saying, hey, does sleep affect weight? 100%. That's going to affect weight due to how your total daily energy expenditure will be affected by a lack of sleep. So, you're just going to have a very slow metabolic rate when you get under 8 hours there. And in doing so, now it's like, shoot, man, now we have reduction in sleep, reduction in basically every function on the planet. If you guys focus on one thing, it is sleep, man. It is sleep and keeping the emotional food choices to a minimum as much as possible. Um, that is key. That is key. You have to. You literally have to. Because even just one night of sleep, let's talk like just for the guys. One night of sleep that's like 4 hours, your testosterone will decline hundreds of points. Hundreds. Just from one night, one poor night of sleep, you're going to have hundreds of points reduced in testosterone. Obviously, your body's going to do its best to recover from this and use a bunch of cholesterol to make more hormone. But I mean, keeping in mind though that if the sleep is not right, man, it's an uphill battle. It's an uphill battle for supplementation, for even the cost of getting that to regulate. So, watching your sugars, getting proper sleep, and getting fiber to be dialed in is, if you guys do that, my goodness, if you guys just do those things right there, and obviously you can need some support with getting those 3 steps in play, but I feel like the phones have a lot to do with our impact on sleep. Granted, it's like 3 p.m. right now for me, but I'll do a live over at 9 p.m. and there'll be people that are like wide awake. So it's like, my goodness. Okay, dokie. I've got to get to some new messages. Um, can you give me more info on why a pilnoidal cyst keeps coming up after getting laced and surgery? Because if that was cut open, it's going to be a growth. So it's going to continue to grow back unless we find the reasons for that growth, which is usually involved with insulin growth factor, fibrotic tissue as well. So endometriosis, breast tenderness, iodine deficiencies, a lot of things can play into why those growths take place. But yeah, you may need even a secondary. I don't do surgeries, but I've had patients with, ear growths, cysts, multiple things. And typically you're going to need a specific type of surgery that's going to prevent the growth from coming back. And then also working internally on things to prevent the growth from showing up in other places, because it definitely will, because the surgery doesn't fix what's going on internally. It addresses the site that the surgery is being done, but it doesn't correct the internal things. So, but yes. Okay, we're all caught up on YouTube actually. Getting it laced. I don't know what that means. So, ooh, do you know anything about seizures? Um, I have had several kids with autism that have had 40, 50 seizures a day on Keppra, and we can get them off it. So it's about getting the immune irritants down and calming the immune and nervous systems down, so that those responses can be normal in their height and ability to respond, and the ability to adapt to the outside world and the world internally too. But there's a lot of mental and chemical, really chemical stress that's involved there. Vaccine damage, huge one. I know I'll watch the views go to zero after I say vaccine, but hey, I got to give you the realest info I can, right? So, um, in terms of the approach initially for something like that, this is not a one-time cure thing, but Alcidonia, link in bio there. Probably some kava to get even more reduction in neurotransmitters that are excitatory. So things like adrenaline, norepinephrine, um, even promoting some dopamine there in healthy amounts. So Alcidonia and that should do you actually pretty well there, because there's L-theanine, there's GABA, there's a lot to calm the systems down. You can do some valerian on top of that. You can do some passion flower, but it's going to kind of depend per person. I would schedule a call through the link in bio, completely free. We can walk through what you should be doing, what the next best steps are for you, and you as an individual, because you guys are not the same. You guys are not the same at all. So I feel like I ramble every time I answer a question, but I have to. There's so many details, you know. I changed my diet and everything. Did you already submit a question? I can't remember. Please refresh my mind if that's like a part two comment to your first one. Please let me know. Okay, let's go through the YouTube ones again. Jesus loves you. There we go. Represent. Um, I love you too. Whoa. Why does vaping not produce the same nicotine hit like cigarettes? What kind of a question is that? How would I even know? How would I even know? I don't vape or smoke. So, um, maybe the other chemical things involved there too to create more of a rush or feeling that way. That's probably why. More chemicals involved. I have a lot of bad things going on, and it makes me think, oh man, don't think that way. Gotta pray, man. All right, where did we leave off? I know that we were gonna get some more details from. Oh, they don't have a name. It's just a cross sign emoji, it looks like. Yeah, it's just a cross sign emoji. All right, Simply Mandy. Thank you for the likes. Look at all you guys popping in here. YouTube is dwindling down. YouTube or TikTok is on and bumping this afternoon. We got a bunch of people in here. So, how we doing, folks? How we doing? I'm gonna try and stretch this live as long as I can. Um, I have some appointments this afternoon, but in between them, we're gonna be going live all day, all day. Stay tuned for the videos. Stay tuned for the patient case video coming out this afternoon as well. Um, and for the people that I'm addressing their questions for, the online store available now, whether you're on TikTok, YouTube, links there in the bio. Um, but if you are basically trying to have a little bit more attentiveness to your case and want to speak to me on the phone, we could do that for free. Complimentary call in bio. I've seen a couple links clicked there. and some appointments get scheduled. So we'll have we'll have some time tomorrow for everybody, but some spots in the rest of the day here. If God is real, why won't he fight me? I feel like he would fight you in other ways that you wouldn't expect. Teach you a lesson, which is true. I'm a believer. I'm a believer. The Makuna seed working like a charm. Actually, the normal doses too. So I'll get the. I've been doing half doses though because I've built up enough dopamine within my brain. I've actually set screen time controls on so that I can't scroll at night. So I've been working on that. I'm not immune to this stuff either, people. So Sam, why'd you retract the message? Leave her in there. Everybody's welcome, even if it's a hater. Still welcome. Oh, jeez. All right. My knees are cramping up. I've been like contorted in a weird position this whole time. So, but yes, I actually need some more water here. I'm almost out of coffee. It's so sad. I used to be somebody that really couldn't drink a lot of coffee, but now I think being a business owner changed that. You know, it led to quite a few changes there. No problem drinking coffee all day long now, especially when you got things that can help, especially with cyclic AMP, some of the neurotransmitters there. Um, and I've walked through a lot of those ways to reduce excited neurotransmitters in the sleep series on YouTube. So if you guys are on TikTok and want to see the full shows where I go through all the lectures, all the slides, even show supplementation, things like that, which I do every now and again through um, just the different camera lens. But same thing. If you go to the link in bio, scroll all the way down, it's going to have my Facebook, my YouTube, and all the others. So you could just have all the full shows where we show the full background, have all the slides involved, which is much more enjoyable in my opinion because I get to show you guys what I got here. So you get to see all the info. I guess I could do that with the TikTok one too. Um, but the studio I use allows me to broadcast to like 5 different platforms at once. So yes, that'll be my preferred method there. Man, what else? We got some time still. We got some time before appointments roll in. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Actually, forgot my last vitamin. Got my last one. I thought I swallowed that wrong. That'd be kind of crazy to choke on stream, just like full on red in the face or purple for that matter. But we made it successfully. So I'm gonna have to get a new salt shaker soon. By the way, if you guys are getting Celtic sea salt, it's like a little maraca. I do not have these in the store. However, if you guys are getting these things, try and get the bottle like this because the bags are way harder to put in. Like when I need to add, actually, I haven't added salt to this water, so if I need to get to demonstrate this for you guys live, if I need to, you can just crack open. Let's make sure both cameras can see that. Just crack open a little space there. Put her right over. Just give her little taps. And boom. That easy. But if you have the bag, then you gotta like put your fingers in there, and then it's all gross because you're touching everything, and then you put that salt in your water, and it's just like ugh. But yeah, that is literally how I saltify saltify my water. Um, if you don't like the taste, you can just chuck some under the tongue and still get the same benefit that way. But yes, some people don't mind the taste. I don't mind the taste of kind of having some salt water there. I can figure out the ratios a little bit better in terms of dilution and things like that. But um, yeah, wonderful stuff. Get your electrolytes in, people. Get your electrolytes because any form of stressor is going to deplete them. Excuse me. I should actually refill my coffee here. I'm going to do that. I'll do it live, though. So I'll do it live. Tell you what, though. I tell you what, though, guys. Coconut water in black coffee. Haven't tried it until today, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't know. I might I might be doing it for a while. Black coffee and coconut water. Who would have thought? Um I guess you could use something like honey or something like that, but there's a lot of potassium in coconut water, and I'm typically deficient in potassium. I'm a high energy person. I'm constantly fidgeting, I'm constantly moving. My brain's going 1,000 miles an hour. So for me, potassium ends up being a little more deficient than a lot of people. But I would definitely encourage you guys to look at the RDAs on potassium because they're too low. And some of the newer research coming out is showing them toward like 4,500 milligrams if you're a guy, maybe toward like 3,700 to 4,000 IUs if you, or sorry, milligrams if you're a girl. Um, just going to depend on some muscle tissue differences that way. So, but yeah, potassium highly overlooked, and that's kind of why I threw it with the coconut water into the coffee here because it helps a lot with the taste. Like that tastes delicious. I got like an espresso, cold brew espresso in here, but it's wonderful. It's wonderful with the coconut water. Doesn't have a lot of salt in there though, so I'm gonna add some more salt. And it's like, aren't you worried about your blood pressure with adding salt? My man, adding salt will lower blood pressure because you can control fluid regulation and fluid exchange in between cells, and potassium as well. So, okay, YouTube from Sanula. What's your side of medicine? Maybe you mean like kind of specialty question there. I'm a chiropractor and practitioner for the Wellness Way. So all holistic stuff here. And very similar to functional medicine, but not because functional medicine is very much a this for that approach, um, which is kind of just copying traditional medicine, right? And using natural things. So my framework is going to come from mental, chemical, and physical stressors that can impact your body and make you have inflammatory responses, which will affect the nervous system and the immune system, and those will change all the other systems. Figure it like stubbing your toe on a coffee table. Every single system in your body is going to change just from stubbing your toe, right? So that can get extrapolated out through different stressors. And that stubbing your toe on the coffee table, that is just a physical stress. Will that change your heart rate? Yep. Blood pressure, even your mood, your digestion, everything. Because your body can't respond with just one system. That makes no sense at all. It can't respond with just one system. It has to respond with all of them. And they're all going to change their behavior, especially when an immune system or nervous system stimulation or response is encouraged there due to a stressor. So basically, every chronic disease on the planet is kind of a failure to adapt to different stressors there. And now, once you can't adapt, your body can't function well, and it's going to express a disease process. That disease process is a response of the body to keep you alive. People don't think of it that way, but if you didn't get that disease, let's talk about just like cancer. If you didn't get cancer, well, if you get cancer, your body's taking all of the poorly replicated cells, all the tumor cells, and putting them into a clump that we call a tumor so that the immune system can attack it. That is genius. That is not a bad thing. Why the cancer is developing, that is a bad thing. Heavily reliant on sugar, heavily reliant on immune system stressors, immune insufficiencies, or deficiencies there. So, but yeah, kind of a ramble, but hope I answered your question. Either way, good stuff though. Good stuff. Ooh, right side eye twitching and right side head pain. What symptoms on and going last for 4 days? Thank you. Yes, I think magnesium can become deficient here. You could probably do some relax powder, also available through the link in bio there. Um, you could be deficient in some magnesium, you could be deficient in some potassium, even. But yes, panic attacks. So you want to get a couple of different things to start calming down, especially with the adrenals and with the nervous system responses. So you could do some California poppy and kava. Those two pair together. I just have kava with me now, but poppy is going to have a similar effect, just working more on the adrenal side of things. Kava really helping with dumping out adrenaline. So tell me again, sir. What was that? Oh, yeah, the magnesium. So just some magnesium citrate there. You could probably do probably 2 capsules of potassium per day as well. But sorry, my nose has been like crazy itchy for some reason. Is that a liquid? Yes. Both California Poppy and Kava are liquids, but if you click on my profile, there's a online store in there, and you can do both the Poppy and the Kava and get them all shipped out to you. So pretty cool. Marie, hello Marie, how we doing? YouTube has gone quiet on us for the past few minutes, but we're on and popping within the Chick Chock. Heat pad, it's work. Heat pad is working, you mean? Have bad acid reflux and severe bloating. I have gallstones. Is this linked? Yes. So for Miss Debbie, that is all to do with the upper digestive tract. So all within here. And I mean, stomach acid is going to depend on that. You would want to probably start with some aloe vera juice, some chamomile tincture, slippery elm, so that you can work on getting good mucosal membrane stimulation there, helping to perform or create a protective barrier between that pain reception and normal GI function, especially in the stomach, small intestine. For more of the gallstone thing, I would probably be doing 1 or 2 bottles of milk thistle and dandelion root so that you could push the bile out a ton through the liver, sensitize the gallbladder. And dandelion is still going to help with the small intestine and things like that. So I am from New Jersey, US, United States. Over here in New Jersey. But yeah, um, but probably need a stool test as well. Probably wouldn't help or wouldn't hurt doing some blood work here. Yeah, for Nilo, schedule a free call. Link in bio there. Completely free. We could figure out what's going on or ask your health questions. I've had ham numbness since December on the right side. Tried Cairo. Should I see a doc? If so, who? So if Cairo didn't work, this could definitely be from excess sugars. I would look into um, some vitamin B12, B9, and fat soluble B1. That way you can work on some of the neuropathy type symptoms there. If it's not coming from a nerve root issue, then it's more than likely a systemic or metabolic type issue going on, usually connected to too many sugars. That is flat out one of the biggest reasons why. But yes. So, all right, people. I. Oh, let's eat more medicine. Now I don't have good memory. What should I do? I would schedule a complimentary call. Link in bio, because I'm probably going to hop off here. I'm getting some calls from patients and things. So, but yeah, for Nilo, for anybody else on here too, whether you're on YouTube or on TikTok here, for all the supplements and their functions, I put those in the store. So link in bio there. There's hyperlinks within each segment of what they do so that you could get access to the medical journals that show all this research and things. So pretty cool. Hit the supplement info sheets, hit the hyperlinks throughout the descriptions of each of those supplements in the website there. But even if you didn't get your questions addressed or you want kind of some more direction, which I highly encourage, um, same thing, link in bio, there'll be a contact us button there. And you could schedule the appointment all on your own, completely free. And we'll figure out what we need to do. So, as always, stay healthy, stay free. Good live here. I can't guide you now. Well, I mean, what would be the memory issues? Need help. I mean, if it's just memory issues alone, you can do some Bacopa. I would do some Gymnema, Oregon grape, and Mucuna seed. Those would be my top four. Um, but yes, if I said that too quick, send me a message. I could definitely send you a DM back, and we can go over those things. So, but I gotta get to some calls here. So, thanks for hanging out. We'll be back later on today. But in the meantime, let me know. See you guys later. Peace.